A lot's been going on with Donald Trump in the past few weeks. Actually, his 110 days, things have been going poorly. And there's a lot of blame to go around. But right now, what I want to do is focus on a compare and contrast. Let's start with Trump first. Okay? First, a major thing. I'm only going to go to the most major things. Trump parades around with the holder of the nuclear codes at a private event where photos and anyone can afford it can get in. Nationally and globally, all can see who this person is, and if they so desire with the capability, can find this guy. Most likely, he's heavily guarded. And if not before, he needs to be now. Number 2, he praised James Comey for investigating Hillary Clinton. Comey then begins to investigate Russian ties with the presidential staff. Once the investigation turns an eye towards Trump's financial records and its possible ties with Russia, Trump fires James Comey. Trump replaces Sean Spicer, who was ambushed by the information and hid in the bushes, and then requesting to speak under a dark interview, no lights or cameras. Fourth, final one for this, Trump allows Russian ambassador and a team of the ambassador to enter the Oval Office without a moderate check of their equipment. He allows them the run of the room in just days. This is just days after firing James Comey. Okay, let's compare it with something. The whistleblowers, from Manning to Snowden, they only told the people of the U.S. what the U.S. was doing after going through all the proper channels. The only rule they broke was make sure the cover-up goes unhinged. All whistleblowers have been treated as to what Trump actually is, a threat to national security and the republic. Here is my best question. Why is what Trump and his administration done not grounds enough to be treated half as bad as the people who actually did the right thing? The U.S. went to war against Hitler and his allies because they sent Japan after the U.S. And the U.S., like a cluster of hornet nests, fought back until the fight was won. You know, the utter stoppage of the big red machine. From that day forward, there was nothing but fear peddling of China's communist regime invading the U.S. as a way of propping up the military at the expense of citizens' well-being. It hasn't gone away. We still fear China so much, Trump used it to aid his victory into the Oval Office. Now, the Russians, who for 3 or more generations we were told were the biggest enemy we could ever have, is now in good with our leader to the point where they get privileges that even the U.S. vice president or any of the high clearance citizens can't get, an unchecked pass into the Oval Office. That means they got to drop cell phones, cameras, and all that kind of stuff before they go into the Oval Office. But yet, the Russian ambassador and his crew can go in. Every single one of you who grew up within or around a person who was all about hating communism can go fuck yourselves. Because what Trump is doing is listening to Putin and all those Russians. And what has Trump talked about? He talked about removing the First Amendment. Why? So people can't say mean things about him, and so the press can't quote him against himself for the public to see. So social media can't hound his dumb ass every time he fucks up on Twitter. Removing the Fourth Amendment. Why? So the government and police officers can steal what they want from you at any time, run roughshod more so than they usually do over all minorities as they brutalize them with impunity. If there is ever a threat to assassinate Trump, I'm sure then he'll go after your precious Second Amendment, and then you all will come out in droves to protest him. If all this comes to a head and we are hit with the shock of all Trump and Putin's desires, don't say anything. Just shut up and support it as if it were that way all along, because you and your hate did this. Oh, don't think I'm talking to the people who voted for Trump because Hillary seemed worse. Those people are simply slaves to social propaganda. You know, Democrat or Republican, anything else is tossing your vote away. No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking to the assholes that voted for Trump because lower taxes for the upper class and a hick, This is Sedrik Cannady for Comparative Reasoning. Fuck y'all.